Hey guys, Doug the Retirement Guy. We got a review of the YieldMax Nvidia ETF NVDY. Do you want to have this in your retirement fund or you want to add it for more income? They're promoting a dividend yield of 52.04%, which is outstandingly high. Let's take a look if this is where we want to be. First off, YieldMax NVDA, they're basically selling the options income strategy. And they only use, again, one stock, which is Nvidia. They only use that. They sell it accordingly. They also throw in there with some treasury bonds for added income, some different investments. Pretty much a standard strategy we're seeing right out of YieldMax, just using another trade name to go with. Distribution rate 52.04 and a 4.15 SEC yield. When we look, exactly what we expected to see. Treasury notes and bonds set up for multiple different months, and then you get the stock down at the very bottom. So why NVDY? Well, they advertise at 52.04% and at 4.15 30-day yield, of course. When you look at the 52, this is something, these numbers are always extremely high, and you always got to put yourself on guard and saying, is this realistic or not? When you're looking at something at 52%, we know it's going to be a high risk. There's going to be a lot of volatility with it. And because they're using an options trading strategy, they're doing what the real modern thing of doing is they don't have a lot of cash involved into the stocks, but they're able to trade and make money from the different options setup. The 4.15 30-day yield says there's a lot of cash that's out there and that's coming into this fund over the next 30 days. So it definitely shows some good potential following the ups and the downs of the fund and the stock. Neat thing is they still do a monthly dividend payout. Of course, I always say it's not guaranteed. On this channel, we definitely love weeklies for retirements. Monthlies are definitely acceptable. Because we want to do exactly what we'll put here. We want the regular cash. We want that cash flow that we can make our bills, pay our bills every month from the stock returns and the dividends. The other thing you can do is always reinvest in the potential, compounding the effect. So take your dividends, reinvest it, get more shares, and continuously grow this as you go down the road. Let's take a look at the return of NVDY over a short period of time. We can see it's down 13.626% in just 1 month. So that's pretty much the month of January. 3 months out, though, man, it's still down 11 points. 6 months is still down -2. Year to date down 13.26. But overall 1 year, they're up 65.5%. And since inception, 164%. So it means it took off great from the start, and it's now just been dropping ever since. So let's take the return of the investment. If you took $10,000, purchased this back 12 months in the past, you would have bought in March $10,000 worth of shares. You would have bought 368 total shares. And you take a look at the dividend that they had, $2.62. When you go down this list, you watch the stock price go from 27 all the way down to $20. So you see a massive decline in the value of your fund. You're down $2,372 or 23.72% down. Now you also take a look and say, wow, we're getting a huge dividend increase of $6,887 or 68%. There's one thing that really throws me on that dividend right off the bat when you look at this. If you take a look at right in December and it's rolled into January, now February, they've kind of dropped their number down to 89 cents, 83 cents. The dividend continuously is going down, down, down. It started off at 262. It's dropped to into the dollar range. Now it's below a dollar range. So I'm really concerned is this dividend return going to continue to hold, or is it going to just continue to drop out? When you look at your total return, you're at 45% increase, which people are going to say and brag about, oh my God, I'm making 45% on this fund. It's not all true information. You're losing 23% of your value. But if that dividend changes, your return's going to change because you're living off the dividend on this thing to give you the return rate that you're trying to get. So warning signs galore. Even though these numbers are big and huge, I've got warning signs galore at this one and say, I think we're going to need to hold on this one and make a look and keep watching. Is this dividend going to drop or not? If it would stay at the 82 cent, we're probably still in it for the long haul. But realistically, you're showing me that things just continuously dropping. So we take a look at the chart, and I'll tell you, the NVDY is slowly dropping. When you start there at above the $25 range, and we are now just above the $20 range, your average of 25.10. I would not be buying this anywhere close to that 25.10 mark. I'd be buying this well below I would try to get to the below $20, right? Because I think the thing's going to just continue to drop down until it balances itself out. It shows that it's not holding the price value over long periods of time. And in a Morningstar risk, even though it says a 3, it just doesn't make whole to me of, you don't want to be in this thing at any high price because you're going to have to make it up on dividends, and we're seeing the dividends are actually starting to drop as well. So we go through our summary onto it. Right off the bat, we're going to look at it and say a 23% loss. Man, that's a thumbs down. Terrible. When we look at the dividend return of 68.87%, I mean, you're getting 5% a month in your money, or $573 on $10,000. We're going to give that a thumbs up, but man, I got to put this with an asterisk. Remember what we talked about. That dividend's starting to drop as well. So we better be watching out what's happening with this and give this thing a little more time to simmer and see what's out there. If you jump in too early, this is not going to be a long run for a retirement account, I can tell you that. And then the stock return, you're at 45% because of the big dividend. Once that dividend starts changing and that stock value does not start gaining back up, you're going to see your total return going down. On the books, you're going to give it a thumbs up because you're way above that 45% price. But again, that's a thumbs up with an asterisk. We can't say that any harder. Like I said, it's all part of that dividend. It has to fix that NAV. So is NVDY good for a retirement account? My answer is going to scare you a little bit. It'll say maybe. What does that mean? Well, here's the thing. Morningstar gives a nice low and safe level at that 3 that they reported. The dividend is great at 68.87, but the dividend is dropping, and we see this each month. We're seeing a little drop. And the NAV return is losing 23.72%. So if your dividend goes down, you're going to continue to be paying more and more to cover your value of your stock, which is going to affect your total return. Your 45 will be down even more if your dividend goes down. So overall, I say you put a hold on this thing. You need a little more time to evaluate to see where are they taking this dividend. There's other stocks out there that I know that we can get better reviews off of. So this one I always say you got to hold on to it. This may be good for a retirement fund if they could figure out their NAV, straighten that out, or if they kind of just get us on the path that the dividend's going to stay for 12 months. The only way I would play this game right now, and 100%, is what we've always called is that 70-30 stock return of the dividend. And that is where you're basically taking 30% of the dividend and putting it back into buying more stock. And that gets you it's going to come back to as a zero-based gain, but you're only going to get 70% of your dividend yield. So in something like this, 70%, you're probably going to only get 40% of the dividend. Your return rate would be about 40%. And that's the only way I could do this one, is with a 70-30 return. Guys, it's Doug, the Retirement Guy. If you like what you're seeing, press that like button. It helps the channel. If you like and want to continue getting more, hit that subscribe button. We're always looking to add people to the channel to get more and more information out there. We're putting videos out on a regular basis. Most of all, hit that comment button. If you like what you're seeing, we'll respond to everything that we get. Everything helps the channel to grow. I hope this information was good for you. We hope to see you on the next video.